Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome once again. Today we're talking about Chelsea defeating West Ham 5-1. The field between Evangelos Marinakis and Nuno Espirito Santo's troubling Forest. And we'll also be talking about the games coming up in the Premier League today. Now, Chelsea battered West Ham 5-1. This was predicted, expected that Chelsea will win. Now I give you my prediction in the other video, and I said that Chelsea is going to win West Ham. That West Ham is rubbish. I clearly said West Ham is rubbish, but I didn't expect them to be this bizarre. 5-1. What is that? What kind of club consists 5-1? If Chelsea was to go against Sunderland or Chelsea was to go against Leeds, newly promoted teams, I don't think Chelsea can give them 5-1. This is just to show you how poor West Ham is. Everybody was like, Sunderland defeated them 3-0, and maybe Sunderland were lucky. Maybe they were lucky, but West Ham is so poor. And what is Graham Potter doing? Since this guy left Brighton, he has not been himself. Getting the Chelsea job was his biggest downfall, was where his problems started coming from. And now he finally got another job at West Ham. The other managers that have been sacked, the three managers that were sacked, they changed about three managers last season. The managers that have been sacked in West Ham, they were not even as bad as Graham Potter is right now. Graham Potter has just won 5 out of last 20 Premier League games. Just 5 games. His win percentage is lower than the people that were even sacked. Now, should Graham Potter be sacked? Or Chelsea is just too good? This is what happens when you don't pay attention in the transfer market. Selling players like Kudus, selling Alvarez, Edson Alvarez, and now you're depending on the players you have, which are decent. We saw Callum Wilson, we saw Bowen, we saw Souček. But what kind of goalkeeper is that? What kind of goalkeeper is that? Mads Emerson. What kind of goalkeeper is that? It was so poor. I can say Chelsea's first 3 goals had to do with him. Chelsea conceding many goals from set piece, from corner kicks, like they were Arsenal. No, Chelsea was better than Arsenal. Chelsea played a good game. But Chelsea had some set piece goals from corner kick. Then Wan-Bissaka. The first 3 goals, it had something to do with poor defending. West Ham was so poor yesterday. Was Chelsea too brilliant? Esteval was man of the match. Eye test and statistics is different, because I look at the stats and I watch the game though. I look at the stats and João Pedro had 2 assists and 1 goal, and Esteval just had 1 assist, and he was the man of the match. His work rate was brilliant, I guess, but I feel like João Pedro should have been man of the match instead. Man, should Graham Potter be sacked? Because I feel like he's lining up quickly to get sacked, because his performance was very, very poor last night. He didn't even have any creativity. He didn't have any idea. He didn't have any tactics. I can compare Graham Potter to Gareth Southgate now. Managers without tactics. These British managers, they are not so good. They are not so good. That's why I say Eddie Howe at Newcastle is trying, because English managers are bad. They are very, very bad. I think they should go to other leagues and coach. Graham Potter, God, it was not brilliant last night. We saw goals. Chelsea sharing the goal with Caicedo, João Pedro, Pedro Neto. So many good. Even Trevor Chalobah had a goal. Anyways, disappointing. Now let's go to the topic of today. Although it happened yesterday, Nuno Espirito Santo and Evangelos Marinakis. Everybody knows Evangelos Marinakis is a nonsense chairman. He's the owner of Nottingham Forest, and he doesn't take rubbish. This guy is gangster as they come, man. They said he's the Greek shoes knight. This guy can be terrifying, but I love him so much because I like owners being involved in their team. I like to see owners caring, having passion for their players and the management and the staff. I like that closeness that Nottingham Forest have with the owner. But now, Nuno Espirito Santo, the manager, the head coach of Nottingham Forest, is saying that the relationship is no longer there between him and Evangelos Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest. Last season, they were all lovey-dovey. We see him, we see the players, but now the manager does not have a relationship with him. Does it mean that a sack is coming? Maybe he's scared that he might get fired soon. We know that former sporting director of Arsenal, Edu, is now the head of global football for Evangelos Marinakis' company. So I think he's now dealing with him instead of dealing with. Nuno is now dealing with Edu instead of dealing with Evangelos Marinakis. So now, does it mean a sack is coming for him? And is he right in saying it in public that they no longer have a close relationship. Let me just say what he said. He said he has always had a good relationship with the owner. Last season, very, very close. This season, not so close. The relationship has changed. He thinks everybody at the club should be together. That is Nuno Espirito Santos is talking. And he thinks everybody at the club should be together, but it's not the reality. So now there's trouble in Forest. Now, it started a week ago. Nuno said that he's not happy. He's concerned. He's concerned about the state of the squad and the players. It was maybe like they didn't really do much work in the transfer window. But I think the main problem is that Nuno Espirito Santo is not being involved. I mean, you will not hear of a deal until the last minute when the deal has already pulled through. Maybe about when they're about to announce it to the media, that's when they will tell Nuno Espirito Santos that, oh, we're trying to buy this player. They're not involving him in the plans, and it's very bad. I think the manager has a say in the players they should buy, even if he's a head coach, not a manager, because the comparison is wide, it's different. The manager is different from a head coach. But maybe even if he's a head coach, he should be involved. He should know. He should even be the one to ask that I want so and so player. Do you like this player? Do you want this player in the squad? Yes or no? He should be involved in the decisions being made. But it's clear that Nuno Espirito Santos is not being involved. And I said in the other video, I said how they have added too many players. They kept Morgan Gibbs White. They added Douglas Luiz. They added Omari Hutchison. They added this guy from Rennes. There are so many players, a striker from Rennes. So I think it's clear that Nuno Espirito Santos is not being involved in the workings of what's going on in Nottingham Forest, and is saying that it's not good. Left for me, I would say Nuno Espirito Santos has done a very good job in Nottingham Forest. I mean, help them qualify for Europe, that is Europa League. They are going to be in Europa League, and it's not easy playing with that guys. The squad, the amount of players he had. I mean, nobody rated Nottingham Forest last season. We were even thinking they'll be in a relegation battle. But we saw for most of the season they were trying to qualify for Champions League. Maybe it didn't go well in the end because the players and the coach have lack of experience. But I don't think Nuno Espirito Santos has done a bad job, and I think he's somebody that is trying for Nottingham Forest. Yes, you're adding a good squad, and maybe you don't really fancy his style of play, because his style of play is like he likes to sit deep, he likes to defend. Nuno Espirito Santos like defending instead of attacking. And then they are buying players like James McCarthy, Danu Doye, people that can attack, people that will not sit in. Maybe they want to change their tactics. And I've heard that Evangelos Marinakis like people like Ange Postecoglou and younger club, their style of play, that rock and roll football. But I feel like for a team like Nottingham Forest, it's better to sit deep. Maybe it can change as the year go by, but as of last season, Nuno Espirito Santos was exactly what Nottingham Forest needed. So, guys, what do you think will happen? Because in the beginning of the transfer window, when the season ended last season, we saw that there was an extension of contract for Nuno Espirito Santos, and we're thinking that, oh, now that he has signed a new contract to continue as coach with Nottingham Forest, we feel like everything will be fine. We saw what happened last season where Gary Neville said some things and he got banned from Nottingham Forest Stadium, and we're thinking everything is good, but behind closed doors as well. Me, I think that they shouldn't sack Nuno Espirito Santos, and the owner should find a way to meet with the manager, make him happy. Just it won't cost anything. Just say hi to him and ask how he's doing, and let that relationship be there, even if it's not so close as before. But let it be there, because we saw him being disrespected last season by Evangelos Marinakis after losing some games. Disappointment. So, guys, there are some games to watch today in the Premier League, and I'll be watching a few. And before that, I just want to say that the Crystal Palace Nottingham Forest game that's happening tomorrow is a must watch. Don't miss that game by 2 p.m. because we know how Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest were competing to go to the Europa League. Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup, which they should have qualified for the Europa League, but because of the John Textor situation, they are in the Conference League. And Nottingham Forest finishing ahead of them and driving the case, reporting Crystal Palace to Court of Arbitration so that, and UEFA, so that they can be suspended. So we saw it. We saw the feud. So it's going to be a very tough game, and I think there's going to be like at least 3 yellow cards because of the feud between these two clubs. And that game that is going to be serious problem is the Monday game between Newcastle and Liverpool because of the feud that is like Isaac. So I feel like you guys should watch that game. Apart from the fact that it's interesting, but there's going to be some yellow cards because it's going to be tough. So guys, 12:30 this afternoon is Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur. Then I'll be watching Brentford Aston Villa by 3 p.m. and Arsenal, my favorite club, with Leeds against Leeds by 5:30. So guys, then tomorrow Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Fulham United 4:30, and Newcastle, Liverpool on Monday night. So guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.